Hey, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today I'm going to show you how I made this pegboard hammer holder. Okay, so this is a board we're going to put our hammers on, and we have the rubber mallet hammer and the mini sledge, and we're just going to hold on to that, and we are going to just trace it out a little bit. Okay. And around where. So we're going to use dowels here. So we want to have a very specific area where hammers are going to, where the doweling is going to go. So I tested the holes and I drilled a hole out, and this is supposed to be 5/8, but the drill I'm using is 1/2 inch. And that's the perfect size for this. I'd prefer it if it was a little tighter actually, but I don't have anything that close. So these ones here, we're going to put this where it's going to sit. And I'm just going to push this in because it's got a little tip on the front there. So that is going to be the imprint. Kind of like a setting it up so it fits perfectly. Alright, and when we drill this out, we're going to put the drill in those holes. Okay, so we want these on a slight angle, so I've just kind of loosely taped a stir stick on the back, and that'll just give me the angle that I want. Because I want these to be so that they won't slide off, which I'm sure they won't, but alright, so I'm going to stain this eventually, so I'm going to sand the front of it. We're just going to measure this all the way. Yeah, there we go. So the first one, I want it to be roughly the same length as that. So we're going to sand the edges off of these. Alright, so now we're going to get some wood glue. We're going to put wood glue in all the holes. Remember which ones go where, stick them in. If there's any glue on the front, just give it a wipe off. So on these, on the back, we're going to use this tiny little number 4 by 1/2 inch screw, and I'm going to jam that in. Oh, not with that bit, I'm not. Alright, so I'm going to put this in beside this, just to take up some of the gap, just to make sure that it's in tight. So like that. And that way, they're not going to go anywhere. Alright? And, oops, do 1 screw for each one. Alright, now we're going to let the glue cure for 24 hours. Alright, so now we're going to stain it, and I'm using Early American, and hoping this is the same stain that's on there. rest of the cabinet. I use foam brushes for my staining normally. And you also stain and varnish the back so it doesn't warp. Okay, and then generally I wipe it down. Make sure the stain's on there evenly, as much as possible. There's a spot that didn't really get it. There we go. We'll let this dry and then we'll varnish it. Alright, so now I'm going to put one coat of Varathane on it. And this is a clear coat by Woodshield, and it seems to be alright. It's just as good as all the other ones I've tried. So we're going to get the dowels first, and we're going to let it drip off the dowels, and then spread it around on the rest. So this is the finished product, right? Now normally I would put in square bend screw hooks, and these are square bend screw hooks, and they look like this, and they have threads at the end. Now normally I would have a shelf like this, so this is one of my wrench shelves. It has a top on it, and then what you do is you put your square bend screw hooks into the top like that, right? So you screw it in like that. And I actually have 3 different sizes of these. I have some little ones too, right? But this is only 3/4 of an inch thick, so even the smallest one won't be in far enough. So basically what you want is, see this here? That's basically the 1/4 inch thickness of the pegboard. So you have to chamfer this part off, and then you stick it in like this into the pegboard and snap it in place. And it works really well, and I'll show you this one in a minute. But since that's not going to work in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill straight through this, and I'm going to use these roll plugs, these drywall anchors, okay? And this one is a number 6 to 8, no, number 4 to 8, okay? And I'll mark basically where it's going to go, so we'll do a screw here, and a screw here, and maybe one here. I just want to mark these off so that they're at the same height. Alright, so I'm just going to drill through here. Make the holes. And just through a touch. So we've countersunk, and we've made them stick out proud a little bit. Okay. We want to mock this up where it's going to sit. So the hammer is going to be up here. And my first available row is here. So we'll take our roll plugs, and for each location stick one in, and there's one that goes here and one that goes here. So push those in all the way. Then we're going to take the screws and we're going to set them in the holes. Just rotate it down And that should hang, even though they're not in yet. So screw them in. And we're going to hang our hammers. Perfect. Alright, so here's the wrench holder. So you stick this in, push it back, it just locks in place. Hang my wrenches back on it. Alright, so here we go. It's all back in order. I've got my wrenches back up. I've got the hammer holders up. It's rubber mallet, hammer, and the mini sledge all fit in nicely. I have room for my tape measures back on top. And then I've put my other hanging tools here. I've got my adjustable wrenches. I've got my tri-square. So then we have specialty wrenches for table saw, routers, grinders, all that sort of stuff. And then a couple of gauges, adjustable wrenches, and a rivet gun here that I've got, this old rivet gun. And then all my screwdrivers. Alright, that's it for this project. I hope I've given you a few ideas for organization that'll work in your shop. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, feel free to do so. And I hope you have a great time out in your workshop. Thanks for watching.